Right, so it's January 4th today. Just a bit of a garden update quickly. So I've chucked in a new kale plant over here, which is doing very well. Rock melons, I've just left this year. I want to see if the bees actually pollinate them, and at this stage it looks like they're not, so I think next year I'll probably end up hand pollinating, which is all good. Pumpkin vine, I've done the same thing. I've put it up there so that it's not on the grass growing wild and it's impossible to mow around. That plant was struggling for a while because it's sharing the same nutrients as my kumara here, so I had to dump in a heap of new nutrients. So next year I might split them and put the pumpkins potentially in a little container or something. It's all good learning. My tomato plants have been destroyed from the wind and I completely neglected them as well. Forgot about them, but there's still some good looking tomatoes on there coming through. And yeah, it'll keep trellising up and going well. My potatoes, the plant died off because of the wind again. It snapped it and then it's just died from there. So I'm going to have a bit of a dig around soon to see if there's actually any growing. And I've chucked in a cauliflower here. I've actually also put in some wheat grains to see if they grow in this, which they should do. So it'll be interesting to see in a few months' time how tall they get. I harvested my onions and then put in some cauliflower in there as well, and then further cauliflower back there. The brassicas this year have been slammed by bugs, and I fully forgot to spray them, so next year I'll spray them early when they're small, then hopefully they'll be alright. These onions are going well, except for the wind's kind of pushed a lot of them over, so it'll be interesting to see if they keep growing or if that's them done, like those smaller ones down there. Another kale plant just in there. It's my favourite variety of kale. This capsicum plant's doing very well in this spot because it gets sun until about 1-2 p.m. and then it sort of gets more shade. So it's got a few capsies on here at the moment. I pulled off some real big ones the other day, which are going to be eaten today. And then these beans, I made a mistake with them. They're not climber beans. Wrong variety, unfortunately. So I've bought the right variety for next year, bought the seeds, so we'll grow those next year. And then pulled the kale out from here and put a collie in instead. And then my other capsicum plants here, it's got a few on it at the moment. But yeah, it's interesting looking at this one compared to that one, just the sun difference. This gets a lot more sun. Not right now obviously, but yeah. And then some other beans I'm trying over here, just literally in small pots. I'm just going to see if they'll basically just hang off here and drip down, and just be interesting to see if the stem is strong enough to hold the weight or if it just snaps. But yeah, it's the garden in January now. All's going well. I think next year, this is a perpetual spinach. Next year I'll just put one of these in because I had 3 and it was way too much. And they grow massive and create heaps of shade everywhere, so just one's enough. And next year I'll put in some further lettuce greens and all that sort of good stuff. I've also added in some indoor herbs. So I've got some rosemary here. That's going good. Tried a basil. Basil just dies pretty much immediately. I think there's not enough sun. And then Greek oregano. That's growing pretty well, but I think taking it off and giving it a bit of sun every day is good. Hello, Mingo. And then here are my onions drying currently. Pulled out 44. I think I've eaten 2 already, but smaller ones that I chopped up for meals. But yeah, there's some pretty good sized ones in there, it's massive. Just leave them here in a nice sheltered, cool spot to dry out. And once the leafy greens dry out, then I'll chop them off to about there and let them dry out some more so they store longer.